we've discussed a bit about having duplicates can have a big impact on user efficiency, as well as some of the potential costs, right, especially with GDPR. So limiting them from the system is critical. And that's really where Paribus Discovery comes in, which we claim is the cure for Paribus for duplicate data. So it is a great solution basically to help you find duplicates and merge them into a single consolidated record. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about Paribus Discovery. First and foremost, it's a batch utility. And it basically finds and merges duplicates hundreds, if not even thousands at a time. And it uses the same enhanced data matching engine that Paribus Interactive uses. So you can configure different match sessions across accounts, contacts, and leads to find not only the obvious dupes, but those ones that are not so obvious, right? And you get unlimited matching and merging capabilities. And it also allows for a quick review before you even merge, so you know that you're actually merging records that are truly duplicates. Now, this tool, unlike Purvis Interactive, is only for the CRM admins of the DBA. So just a couple of people typically in an organization would use this. It's for the power users. But it also can be customized. So if there's some additional things that you want it to do from the merge perspective, there is an SDK that can be used as well. And the key here is all your data resides within your environment. Nothing leaves your system. And it works for both the 365 in the cloud or on-premise solutions. So let's look at how Paribus Discovery works. And in this example, it identifies 3 potential matches on Bill Dixon. Note the synonyms on Bill's first name and a sequence variation on his account name. Okay. So when Paribus merges these records, it will realign any child records to the surviving record. This includes, by the way, custom entities too. And it will also backfill any null values missing on the surviving record with data from the duplicates, essentially creating an overall better record. And you can see, for example, here that you may have some sub-entities like 3 activities and 4 orders and so forth, but ultimately here, those will all be realigned to the surviving record, okay? So I'm going to take you through a brief demo where we'll basically edit a match session and run one, review the results, and ultimately run a quick merge. All right, so let's back that up here. So in this case, I've got Paribus Discovery up and running here. And the real key to Paribus Discovery is the power in its match sessions, which is where we use, again, the data matching engine to look across accounts, contacts, and leads and find any matching records. All right. So I can see here, for example, from a best practice, it's probably best to start with accounts and clean those up first, and then move on to your contacts. Okay. And a further tip would be to actually have, starting with the most obvious duplicates, so run a match session on account name at, let's say, 99%. So it's going to find only things that, for example, have IBM. It won't find IBM at International Business Machines. But as I open things up, maybe at subsequent match sessions running at 90% would find IBM at International Business Machines. Now, you have to have 2 criteria to really effectively run a match, okay? Besides, of course, the name, you need to have something else. So if I were to just look for names alone, it might find 500 IBMs in the system, right? Which we know those are probably not all duplicates. But if I add the address as an additional match criteria, and it's only going to show me account names or accounts that have the same name and the same address. Okay, so we do always want to use 2 different criteria here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and show you how we set this up here. I just give it a name here. And because I said the account name is 99% similar, down here at the threshold is where I actually decide how much similarity I want to put on this. In this case, I said it was 99%. And then the full address is actually set up here under the different match conditions, which, by the way, can be custom fields that you want to also match on. But in this case, it was pretty simple to use the full address. And so that's what I used here. You can see it's at the 99%. So that's how we set up a match session and match on particular fields, if you will. Okay. Now, I've already run a match session here, which I want to go into. I'm not going to actually run it here just to save some time. But after you run a match session, you can see here it's found 107 matches. I ran this here just recently. I'm going to go ahead and review this session. And when I do actually run a session and open up the review screen, there's really 2 things that I want to do here. I want to determine, are these truly duplicates and which one's the winning record? Now, the groups of 2 or more records that Paribus find will be found here in this column here. So I found about 46 different groups of 2 or more records. We can see here, for example, First Japanese has 2 matching records, where First Planet Services has 3. And you can see those 3 records here. So I've got First Planet Services with a 1ST, First Planet with an FIRST, and so forth. And you can see that as I select some of these things, the information is presented side by side. So I've always got the what will be the winning record here on the left-hand side, which can, by the way, be determined programmatically through some filters or the merge engine, or even I can override it here on the review screen. But I can see here this information in blue is completely configurable. So any information that you want to bring in here to help you decide, are these truly duplicates, will be basically here in blue. And I can see here, for example, the address here, both at 1313 Mockingbird Lane in Burbank, California. It looks like I've got 4 contacts on what will be the surviving record and 1 here. And so if I look at these 2, I can pretty much say, yeah, those are duplicate records. Now, if I decide that this, in fact, is a duplicate, I can simply click on, either double click it or click on this little check mark here. And that basically says, yes, it's approved. And when Paribus runs its merge engine, anything with a green check mark will, in fact, be merged. I'll uncheck that one for now. Now, as I go through these things and I'm reviewing these things, I can say yay or nay, they're approved or not. I might have a question on one, which I can actually mark things up and say, I've got a question on these for whatever reason. And I can even export these results out in a CSV or text file if you want, for other people to actually review this, so that the DBA or the CRM administrator doesn't have to worry about it, making those decisions. You can also void things as well if you decide not to. I'm looking at this ABC company, for example, and I can see that they're both in Flushing, and what will be the winning record, ABC versus ABC Inc., which is a duplicate. This guy's got 3 contacts and this one has 5. I'm actually going to merge this record when we're done here, just so you can see that. Okay, so these 5 contacts will be moved over into the surviving record. So ultimately, we'll have one surviving record, ABC, with a total of 8 contacts when we're done. Okay. One quick thing too, you can also see things like, again, our data matching engine at work here. I've got a JAE, which stands for Jupiter Astronomy Equipment Corporation. I've got a group here that is actually out of San Ramon, but I got a separate group. The reason why they're not all under one group, these ones are out of San Francisco. So again, using that address is very important to make sure that we're not bunching things up together just by name alone. So I'm going to go ahead and do a real quick run of this. So now that I've got something approved in here, that was ABC Corporation, I'm going to go ahead and run our merge engine, which basically logs into CRM, whether again it's on-prem or online, and I can merge my accounts here. Now I'm only going to merge what I've approved. So I'm going to go ahead and choose accounts, select a match session here that I want to go ahead and approve something on, and I'll go ahead and select that one and only that we have, that ABC Corporation. Say select, and then go ahead. I'll just accept the defaults. Now I can delete these upon merging, or I can deactivate, which is generally pretty safe. So I'll go ahead and just do a deactivate that way. I still have the data in the background if I want. And then I'm gonna go ahead and run our merge. Now, when I'm done here, what I want to show you is that we started out with, if I go back into CRM, I had 2 ABC companies, okay? I had ABC with just the periods, which is going to be actually the surviving record, and it had 3 contacts, and ABC Inc. had 5. So if I go ahead and just do a quick refresh on this, and it looks like, yep, there we go. We can see now that I only have 1. And if I open up this record, we can see that I have now a single consolidated record with all of the contacts now aligned here. So you can see here's, instead of 3, we have all the different contacts that we want, okay? So that's how easy it is to merge and bring everything together in one record with Purvis Discovery, the bulk match tool that really saves a lot of time and cleans things up for the user and really enhances their experience.